Hey everybody, it's Karina with Karina Loves to Plan. Welcome back to my channel. I am here for another years later review of a pen that I had when I first started my fountain pen journey, didn't have for another few years, and then rediscovered again, kind of like the TWSBI Eco. What pen do you think this is? I'll show you. I don't have just one, but I have two. I have two Kaweco Sports or Kaweco Sports. These were, well, I'll have to say even this one was actually the first and only Kaweco Sport that I had when I first started my journey, and I wasn't a fan of it then. So what changed? What changed? Well, I'll tell you. My friend Kay in San Francisco gifted me with a lovely little swag bag and included this in there. And I thought, you know what, I might as well try it. Friend was good enough to gift me one. And this one here had a medium nib. So I just put the cartridge in, tried it out, and I was like, oh, well, I think maybe I need to give this another chance. And I wrote with it for a while and decided the medium nib was actually maybe a bit too broad for me. So then I was in Vancouver and decided to buy myself this Kaweco Sport in Macchiato, and this has an extra fine nib. So I am going to give you today my thoughts on the Kaweco Sport, what I think of it, well, literally 3 years later after I originally was like, no, this pen is not for me, and yeah, give you my thoughts on it as of present day. And let's just briefly look here at some size comparisons. So we have the Kaweco Sport. I am going to put down, why do I not have an Estie next to me ready to go? So my Esterbrook Estie, and then I'm also going to compare this to a Leonardo Memento Zero. Then I'm going to compare it to a TWSBI Eco, and then a Pilot Vanishing Point. So obviously you can see that it is the shortest there, but let's look at these uncapped, and then I'll show you what this looks like posted. So you can see here, uncapped, the Kaweco Sport is going to be the shortest one. But then if you actually add, I say add, but post the cap onto the Kaweco Sport, it actually becomes a regular size pen. But looking at the grip section, it is very narrow compared to what I normally like. And again, the preferred grip section for me is the size of the Esterbrook Estie. So let's weigh this pen really quickly. So the Kaweco Sport without its cap is a very light 6 grams. And then if you cap it, or even if you post it, it's 13 grams. So it's a very, very light pen. So let's go ahead and do our writing sample and our years later review. So this here, I'm in my Galen Leather A5 notebook with 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. This pen profile stamp is from Everyday Explorers, and I have a link for Everyday Explorers in the description below. So the brand is Kaweco. The model is Sport. The nib is an extra fine, and the color is Macchiato. And this is currently inked with Robert Oster Van Pen 86. So I got the ink as well as the pen from the Vancouver pen shop. So I'm going to go through basically a few questions that will help me decide, or basically help me determine what this pen is like now for me years later. So the first question here, is it good for long or short writing? I think it's great for about half a page to a page. Any more than that and the pen is just uncomfortable for me, but the ink does keep up. 2, is this better with wet or dry inks? I personally like wetter inks in the extra fine and about average flow in the medium. Number 3, does it have a lot of feedback? Is it smooth? My first ever Kaweco Sport was scratchy, and I didn't know how to fix it. I didn't have the knowledge for what to do with nibs back then, but this nib has feedback. It's smooth, but with feedback, and I've learned to appreciate that. Do they stain? Not this particular model or color, but I'm sure maybe a white one or a frosted one may stain. 5, is this comfortable in the hand? For short writing, yes. For longer writing, even writing this wasn't comfortable towards the end. 6, is this an everyday carry or left at desk? This is one I can definitely carry around in my purse and not worry about it at all. And 7, how are they with sheen or shimmer inks? I don't think they'd be great in the extra fine nib, but they do get better as you get to the broader nibs. And 8, what is the preferred paper? For me, it's Tomoe River paper. That is my preferred paper, my paper of choice. So if you're not familiar with the Kaweco Sport, it is a pocket pen, and you basically unscrew the cap and you post it like that, and it becomes a regular size pen. And this is a good inexpensive pen for a lot of people who want to try out a fountain pen. It's really cute, and there's so many different colors, and it appeals to so many people in terms of its collectability. One thing, or a few things that I do have to say is that it does not come with the clip. The clip has to be purchased separately, but also for this particular one, the cartridge didn't come with it either. So I had to purchase a cartridge and a converter separately, and the converter that you would purchase for this is the tiniest converter, has very, very little ink capacity. So if you like to change your inks, that may work for you, but if you want something with a little bit more ink capacity, use the converter and clean out the converter and refill that converter, and then you've got yourself much better ink capacity than the converter that would normally go with this. Now with the Kaweco Sport, there's also so many different materials. There's the All Sport, which is in the aluminum, and then they have the Brass Sport, which is a very heavy model. So I think there's models of the Kaweco Sport that would fit anybody. I know the style of this is not for everyone, although I know some people who own quite a few of these Kaweco Sports, but I think I really like the look of the macchiato. I like the simple clip, and I think this is a really good one for me to just throw in my purse. And then I love how fine that extra line width is. It's toothy but still smooth, if that makes sense. And then with the right ink, you're gonna get such a fine, crisp writing with that. So overall, my years later review on the Kaweco Sport, after not having used it for 3 years, is that I think my viewpoint on this particular pen has changed because I have tried so many other pens since I first tried this one, and I can appreciate this for what it is. It's a pen that I can throw in my purse, take around with me, have other people borrow it, and not be too afraid that they're going to wreck a pen like this. It's cute. I really like the color of this. This is one that is really just for simply jotting down a few notes and a couple of things in my planner. It's not one for long journaling sessions, but I like that. I like that there are going to be pens in my collection with different purposes. Not every single one of them is going to be an everyday 2-3 page writer in my journal. This one is a cute little pocket pen that I'm going to put in my purse when I leave the house, and it's one for jotting down a couple of notes or appointments, things like that. And I appreciate that for what it is. So thank you to Kay for reintroducing the Kaweco Sport into my life. It prompted me to purchase the macchiato, and I'm actually really happy with having the Kaweco Sport back in my life now. So I know it's not for everyone, but years later, I'm actually liking it. All right, but that is it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you like this type of years later review, please let me know, and I'm going to try and do a few more and when I can. Thanks again for watching, and have yourselves a great day.